the breaking news this morning. We rarely get that in the 6 a.m. club, so we'll take it. And just when things start to settle down like a tiny bit with Jerry Jones, here comes the can of gasoline to make the fire grow bigger. The Titans and Chiefs are working on a deal to send DeAndre Hopkins to Kansas City. That's the breaking news right now, presented by BetQL. Smarter bets start with BetQL. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. Bobby, are you seeing compensation? I thought I saw a fourth somewhere. Chop, you got it?
Fifth that can become a fourth is what it's being talked about as now.
What do we think? Right here in the moment.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God they went and got DeAndre Hopkins and didn't go get Cooper Kupp, because then it'd be over.
If Cooper Kupp can walk.
Can he walk? Yeah.
I mean, the two times he's been able to walk onto the field this year so far, it's been like 10 catches, 100 yards each time. I just think...
And, of course, what Bobby's referring to is the reports yesterday that the Rams are shopping Cooper Kupp for a second-round pick.
Yeah, and to me, that's... I would rather spend, as risky as it is, and Kansas City's in a different spot. They've already won 3. Like, how many more do they really feel the need to, like, push for? But to me, a second on Cooper Kupp is worth a better gamble than potentially a fourth on Hopkins at this point.
I mean, Cooper Kupp is still a freaking technician.
Oh, yeah.
Like
he'll age well.
This guy is a machine. I don't know with the injuries.
From his
game.
The game, yeah, the type of player is. His injuries, that's the big risk.
Can you check Kansas City's, because we do have to compare this, can you just check their financial situation for what they were in and what this is going to cost, just to compare it to the Cowboys when we're not going to do anything? Of course, other people would tell you, Mike Fisher mainly,
gentlemen,
the Cowboys are not going to make any type of additions like this because all in really meant I'm just going all in one last time. Mm-hmm. This is my final hand with this group of players. Right. So adding Henry and adding Hopkins and adding other guys for multiple years. No, we don't want to be tied to anything after this year, because if it doesn't work, we are going to blow it up. And I can see how that is what he meant. He just did a really bad job of explaining it and re-clarifying it for the entire offseason and this year.
So it looks like, I mean, they'll barely take on anything in terms of cash this year, because we're already halfway through the year. It was a $5 million salary, so about 3 is what they'll take on. But Dallas currently ranks 6th in cap space, and the Chiefs rank 26th in cap space with $4 million compared to Dallas's 22.
Oh, okay.
Hard to evaluate what he has left playing with that trash.
I was just going to say that. Do you know the high yard total for any Titan receiver? What Tennessee Titan receiver, and how? Give me a yardage within 50 yards. How many yards they have?
Pass catcher or receiver?
Pass catcher. Receiving. Let's see. Yeah, receiving yards. Just receiving yards. Period.
52.
For the season high?
Yeah, like a game high. Or,
no, just the season high.
250.
183. It's Calvin Ridley. We're 6-7 weeks in, and the high receiver has 183 yards.
And DeAndre's 15 for 173.
173. And Tyler Boyd is 18 for 170. Actually, they have pretty decent receivers.
Spreading it out. That's all they're doing.
They've got pretty decent names there, but that's it.
As they go to Mason Rudolph last week. But you talk about aging well. I think you've always said DeAndre has a game that you think will age well.
Yeah, and DeAndre he's not what he once was, but I mean, he's still a competent receiver. It's just, to me, if you're looking at yourself when you're Kansas City and saying, we need a difference maker, we need somebody who's going to really move the needle and get Patrick Mahomes potentially back on the right side of his game, Hopkins, I don't know if he's that guy, but Hopkins with other contenders, I'd be really interested in. It's just Kansas City, I don't know. Guys got to start clicking into place there. Kelsey's got to start playing better. Mahomes has to start playing better. Like, they've got to start getting better production, and then it may be a better fit.
A fifth that can turn into a fourth. Ian Rappaport with that as well. Thanks to Tolo J for sending it. And then Ricky James said, Jerry can't afford Henry, Hopkins, Devontae. It's almost as a free agency trade market that enables GMs to improve their team midseason does not exist. So there are the Chiefs with now Kelsey, Hopkins, Can they have that deep threat still there in Worthy as they try to get the offense going?
They try. They try with him, with Worthy, and it's very strange. Like, he'll go, I mean, even game one, he had like 4 touches, and he still had 2 touchdowns. But he only had like 4 touches. It's weird because their offense is actually better than I thought it was going to be.
It's fairly efficient.
I saw the stat. They're 7th in scoring drive percentage, like meaning like what? Only 6 teams score on a higher percentage of their drives than the Chiefs. Now, they're low in punts, but how much of that is because Mahomes can't stop throwing interceptions? Like, that's why they're low in punts. But they're 4th in positive EPA percentage, and they have the second fewest plays that go for no gain or no loss, or for no gain or a loss. So, like, it's not the worst offense. And I first thought, like, okay, does that mean they're just having fewer drives per game? Well, no, they have about the same amount of plays per game as they did last year. Like, they're 65 plays a game is what they're averaging, which is exactly what they had last year.
Yeah, and to be fair, offense is definitely down this year. So ranking 6th, 7th means something different than it would have in the past. Because, for instance, the EPA per play that we talk about, the expected points added, that efficiency, I believe there's only 8 teams in the NFL right now that even have a positive EPA per play.
Wow.
So let's talk about the other receiver rumor while we're here. Just for the fun of it. It's not going to happen. Cooper Kupp for a second here.
That's a high price for this team because they don't. I mean, they lost out last year. They gave their pick away for Trey Lance. This team is, I think, too many players away to be giving up a second-round pick.
Keyshawn Johnson yesterday was like, screw all that, go get Myles Garrett. Michael Irvin's like, Myles Garrett is still not fixing this defense. People are poking around Myles Garrett now. But, yeah, Cooper Kupp is 31. Bob, what's the money?
So he's much more difficult to move because he has guarantee. So when you make a trade, basically what the cap charge is any bonus money, any guaranteed money that you've spread out over your cap, as soon as you trade him, it all accelerates and you got to pay it that day if you're the Rams. The team that's getting him takes on the current year's salary and takes on any guaranteed money into the future. He still has guaranteed money into the next 2 years. And so there's
$20 million a year on the salary.
And it's not all fully guaranteed,
right,
but some of it's guaranteed. He's averaging about $15 million a year for the next 3 years. So you are going to have to make an investment there. That's why a lot of the reports yesterday said it sounded like the Rams were willing to just kind of write this all off and say, we'll eat some of the money. We'll even take on some of the money and just get us our second-round pick. We need capital.
If he was 28, that's different. But he's a 31-year-old injury-prone guy.
How many games has he missed?
So I went and looked.
Holy crap, this guy.
He's played in just 23 games over the last 3 seasons.
23 over 3?
Yeah, so now
here's what I do.
I'm counting this year as one of the 3. So we're only 7 or 8 games in.
Here's what I do every year with Cooper Kupp. Peyton, maybe you feel the same in fantasy as I'm beating you like last weekend. I watched the Rams' first game of the year, and I'm like, holy crap, Cooper Kupp is a Hall of Famer. This guy's going to have 17 catches a game. Mm-hmm. But the way he plays, I'm like, he's just not going to last. He just looks – there's certain players, T.J. Watt, Micah Parsons, Allen Iverson, when he was hooping, I'm like, you have a style that doesn't look like you know when to back off and avoid the piles and the collisions when you can. And Cooper Kupp just never holds up. You guarantee me he's staying healthy. Hell yeah, Cooper Kupp for a second. It's going to be a tremendous gamble for someone. It's a 40-60 payoff. 40% it's going to work with his health. 60% it's not, and it may be even higher than that. But this is one of those moves. I can't really kill someone, a contender, if and when they do it, because his health is the total complete unknown. And if he's healthy, he can put you over the top.
He has, out of a potential 122 games that he could have played at the NFL level, he's played 94. So we're talking about he misses about 1 every 4 games for his career.
A lot.
And then Stafford to the Vikings? Where the hell? Who came up with that?
This is from Kicks on Fire, or one of these sneaker Twitter accounts had tweeted this yesterday. Literally, it was a sneaker CEO had tweeted this, and people were like, what are you even talking about, dude? He said, just wait, just watch. It's coming. I only speak on things when I get word, but they're working on something here. No. I will say, it makes more sense to me than thinking of other pairings. Kevin O'Connell worked with Stafford. Kevin O'Connell maybe feels like I'm starting to see in recent weeks some of these potential limitations with Sam Darnold. I can get Stafford in here and immediately level this team up and have success with it. I think that it's at least an interesting thought, the idea of him being able to acquire Stafford midseason and do something with him.
Darnold has thrown 1 touchdown in the last 2 weeks. But then you talk about Darnold, McCarthy.
Yeah, McCarthy there.
Stafford.
Yeah, that's a crowded room. That's a very crowded room. If they think they're close and they think Stafford's an upgrade,
he's won a Super Bowl with him. O'Connell's won a Super Bowl.
That is the one position where you upgrade it. I mean
So you're saying playbook wise, he's lockstep and fine. He'd be fine like Devontae going to the Jets.
Similar. It's going to be a lot of the same language from when he was the offensive coordinator with him a couple of years ago with the Rams. Now, obviously, McVay's got a heavy hand in that, but it's all same sort of verbiage and scheme and different things like that. And I don't know. I trust so blindly in Kevin O'Connell at this point to make something work that I think it would be perfect.
That's tough. It's tough. It's tough to drop Darnold here, who's been, the Jets game he was bad in, but that was in London. Weird things happen there. But
I think you got to know how much Sam is loved in the locker room or not. If I trade for Stafford, am I going to be viewed as just throwing Sam off of the pier when we've gone this far and had this amazing start?
Yep. And now look, there's no doubt, his last 2 games, QBR's clearly at a season low. It was a 46 against Detroit and a 15 against the Jets.
Mahomes-esque. Goodness.
Very much so.
No, the thing with, you got to remember, Kevin O'Connell, I think, was walking into the season prepared to start a rookie in J.J. McCarthy. Has 6-7 weeks of Darnold, good as he been, has that been enough to erase the thoughts of, I was ready to start a rookie over you?
All right, that turned into an all-NFL segment because of the breaking news. DeAndre Hopkins is going to the Chiefs